What does it mean to be a man? From a young age, boys are given a specific blueprint, one that doesn't teach them how to embrace their humanity, but instead tells them what not to be. Don't cry. Don't be weak. Don't be a woman. But what are the consequences of this conditioning? And how does it affect the way men relate to women? Boys are often naturalized to reject femininity, a process rooted in patriarchal masculinity. Society doesn't focus on teaching boys how to positively express their masculinity. Instead, it emphasizes what they must avoid: vulnerability, sensitivity, empathy. These traits are shamed, labeled as weak or feminine. This relentless messaging embeds a dangerous idea that being like a woman is the worst thing a man could be. Shame as a tool. Shame becomes the primary tool used to enforce these ideals. From childhood, boys are steered away from anything feminine through ridicule and rejection. But this has its consequences. It creates a deep emotional disconnect. Men are left with an internalized disdain for traits society associates with women, traits that are human, natural, and necessary. How can someone go through life being told that femininity is weak and inferior, and then truly value women as equals? This socialization fosters a cycle of shame, violence, and emotional repression. Women as status symbols. In this patriarchal framework, women are not seen as equals, but as status symbols. Men are taught that their worth is tied to their ability to win women's attention, not because of genuine admiration, but as a way to gain validation from other men. This dehumanization reduces relationships to transactions. Women are objectified and genuine connection is lost. The harmful cycle of patriarchal masculinity. The cycle of patriarchal masculinity perpetuates harm. Men are shamed for showing vulnerability and in turn project this insecurity outward, often as anger or violence. Meanwhile, women bear the brunt of this emotional suppression, taking on the role of caretakers in relationships. Breaking the cycle. But this cycle can be broken. It starts with redefining what it means to be a man. By encouraging emotional literacy and teaching boys that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness, we can foster healthier relationships. We must also challenge the idea that feminine traits are undesirable. Compassion, empathy, and sensitivity are not weak, they're human, and they're essential. The way we socialize boys to be men has far-reaching consequences, not just for men, but for everyone. By redefining masculinity and dismantling harmful patriarchal norms, we can create a society where emotional connection is valued and respect is mutual. It's time to stop telling boys what not to be and start showing them how to be fully human. How can we as individuals and as a society redefine masculinity and challenge these harmful narratives? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Together we can spark the change we want to see.
My college human sexuality class where the professor told us that men don't actually like women. Not all men. Sure, but hang in. He said that the way that our society socializes boys to quote, become men, is not to tell them how to be men. It's just to teach them how to not be women. Don't cry, be a man. Don't be a pussy, be a man. Don't be weak, be a man. Don't be sensitive, be a man. Don't like those things. Those are girl things. And the tool we use to do that kind of socializing, to steer them away from feminine things, is shame. And you just can't go your whole life being told that the worst thing you could do is be like a woman and expect to actually like women at the end of that. But they are also taught that their sexual attractiveness to women and their ability to get women is a status symbol in front of other men. So they will sexually pursue women, but they don't actually like them as people. This is how patriarchal masculinity socializes men, and why shame, violence, and disgust are so intricately linked.
To understand